Deuteronomy 18. When you enter the land which the Lord your God is giving you, do not imitate the detestable customs of those nations. No one among you is to make his son or daughter pass through the fire, practice divination, tell fortunes, interpret omens, practice sorcery, cast spells, consult a medium or familiar spirit, or inquire of the dead. Everyone who does these things is detestable to the Lord, and the Lord your God is driving out the nations before you because of these detestable things. You must be blameless before the Lord your God. Though these nations you are about to drive out listened to fortune tellers and diviners, the Lord your God has not permitted you to do this. Second Chronicles 33. Manasseh was 12 years old when he became king, and he reigned 55 years in Jerusalem. He did evil in the sight of the Lord according to the abominations of the nations, whom the Lord dispossessed before the Israelites. For he rebuilt the high places which Hezekiah his father had torn down. He also erected altars for the Baals, and made Asherim, and worshipped all the host of heaven, and served them. He made his sons pass through the fire in the valley of Ben Hinnom, and he practiced witchcraft, used divination, practiced sorcery, and consulted mediums and spiritists. He did much evil in the sight of the Lord, provoking him to anger. Manasseh put the carved image of the idol which he had made in the house of God, of which God had said to David and to Solomon his son, I will establish my name forever in this temple and in Jerusalem, which I have chosen from all the tribes of Israel. And I will never again remove the feet of Israelites from the land, which I have appointed for your ancestors, if only they will observe to do all that I have commanded them, according to all the law, the statutes, and the ordinances given through Moses. Thus Manasseh misled Judah and the inhabitants of Jerusalem to do more evil than the nations whom the Lord destroyed before the Israelites. The Lord spoke to Manasseh and his people, but they did not listen. Therefore the Lord brought the commanders of the army of the king of Assyria against them, and they captured Manasseh with hooks, bound him with bronze chains, and took him to Babylon. When he was in distress, he sought the favor of the Lord his God, and earnestly humbled himself before the God of his ancestors. When he prayed to him, the Lord was moved by his petition and heard his supplication, and brought him again to Jerusalem, to his kingdom. Then Manasseh knew that the Lord is God. Now after this he built the outer wall of the city of David, on the west side of Gihon, in the valley to the entrance of the fish gate. He encircled the Ophel with it and made it very high. Then he put army commanders in all the fortified cities of Judah. He also removed the foreign gods and the idol from the house of the Lord, as well as all the altars which he had built on the mountain of the house of the Lord and in Jerusalem. And he threw them outside the city. He set up the altar of the Lord and sacrificed peace offerings and thank offerings on it. He ordered Judah to serve the Lord God of Israel. However, the people still sacrificed in the high places, but only to the Lord their God. Now, the rest of the acts of Manasseh, even his prayer to his God, and the words of the seers who spoke to him in the name of the Lord God of Israel, behold, they are written in the records of the kings of Israel. His prayer and how God granted his request, and all his sin, his unfaithfulness, and the sites on which he built high places and erected the Asherim and the carved images, before he humbled himself, behold, they are written in the records of the Hosai, the seers.